Hello, everyone. Hello, and thank you for being here with us. I am Alessio De Gaetano, Sales Director of Univet, and here with me there's Paolo Portesi, the CEO and Administrator of Univet itself.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Today we are going to open a discussion about an important topic that most of the people dealing with XR in general and AR in particular for the enterprise knows very well. And the topic is how to pass from a POC project to a full deployment of such a technology inside the real world of the industrial field. So we are going to evaluate all the points that we discovered in our own experience, let's say, as a company, and also as manufacturers of AR devices. First of all, Paolo, I would like to ask you a question. Of course, if you could briefly introduce Univet, who is Univet, and why, most of all, you think we have an experience useful to explain topics about AR.
Thank you, Alessio. And I would like to start a really brief introduction of Univet. And I can say that everything starts when Univet had been founded in 1997. At the beginning, the company were based on two business areas. The main one that was safety glasses, and the other one, not so big, but very important for us, was the fashion and sport glasses. I always consider that this fashion and sport glasses it has been a great experience for us, like a big training session. It stressed us under a positive way, absolutely, but in developing the new solution, new design, and new materials. And this helped us really in be always perform with, say, having the highest standard in this kind of market. And we brought also this knowledge into other areas that we are now developing. After we closed this experience in 2010 for our, let's say, general decision of this business, we, like I say, implemented the magnification device segment, or better, the loops, dental and medical application. This has been in the market from 2006 exactly. After that, we approached the augmented reality market starting from 2015. This last step was exactly the merging of our background of glass manufacturer with the new technologies. And really, this represents our vision of the future.
Thank you, Paolo.
Welcome.
I see also some of our friends here in Italy coming in. So Fabio Codebue, nice to see you. Nice to see you there. Let's start with the first question, Paolo. The first question is, now that you explained who is Univet and why we have a specific experience also in augmented reality, could you share with us, being a visionary and being an entrepreneur as you are, what does it mean in general to introduce a new and disruptive technology inside a manufacturing company? And if you can also specifically augmented reality.
Thank you for the question, Alessio. I can say in Univet we are used to start from ideas, from sketches. We are able to come up with a solution for the needs of our customer, of our clients that are mostly, say, industrial customers. We have a very deep knowledge of the industrial world because this is exactly what we are doing every day with our solution. We know that it takes, we really know what it takes to innovate. The example could be exactly the story that I just told you about Univet. We really started from a fashion sunglasses company through a safety company, a safety glasses company. Then we went through the medical products, and today we are developing with a good background the augmented reality activities and new products. But just to give you an idea of, just with one product, the idea of what is innovation for us, I would like to bring the example of the clean room goggles. It was early 2000 when we have thought and developed the concept of a reusable clean room goggle. The market was based only on the, I can say, disposable or single-use products. And we really stressed the concept of developing new materials, new solution for having, for giving a better, I can say, comfort and fitting to our end user, and also give a good, I can say, benefit to the environment, because with a reusable product, we were going through a single-use to a 30th-use product, at least. So, about the augmented reality innovation and say approach to this world, I say we did quite a reverse step to this world. We started from our background, from our knowledge. So we know the industrial market, we know what are the needs of our industrial customer, and so we start from building an idea of a certified product accordingly to the EN and the ANSI standard that are the base to approach the industrial organizations, and to allow our, say, operator, our end users, to have always the right protection during their activities.
Thank you, Paolo. So, thank you for sharing your experience. So, I think that from your words, we can assume that there are some technical reasons why adopting AR technology in a large scale could be an issue, could be a problem. The reason is that these kind of devices should have some features that industry already knows from the past experience. Namely, some of them, for example, the fact that Paolo was saying that the device has to be certified as a safety device. So we are talking of PPE nowadays in COVID time, unfortunately. All of us are very familiar with this element. So being safe, first of all, being industrial, so the device has to be rough enough, ruggedized, strong enough to be used every single day for a whole shift, even in aggressive environments. Third element could be that the device has to be modular for a series of reasons. You are looking at here one interpretation of the possible answer that we discovered here in Univet. You can see that on Visionary is simple and easy to replace a lens according to the environment that you are, the lightness conditions and so on. It's also easy to detach, as you see here, the optical module from the structure of the glasses. In this way, it's easy to share the costly part and the most delicate part with other workers, with other shifts, for example. This means that in a single product, you have a certified device with an investment which is limited because it can be shared among different workers. And of course, you have an industrialized device. And this comes directly, in our case, from the experience, from the heritage of Univet itself. These elements that I just mentioned, I'm sure, and we are sure in Univet, bring value to the end user, because at the end of the day, the adoption of this kind of devices doesn't need to be a shock for the end user. The end user has to be used to wear safety glasses. In most of the cases, he should wear it anyways. So having a pair of glasses which are very similar in terms of comfort and fitting to something that the worker is used to use every single day I think that will keep such an experience clean from any bad side, and will just underline the positive effects for the worker and for the company itself. Well, this was just for the beginning, and I would like also to underline to our guys here that you are always free to ask questions on the chat on the right side of your page. We will be happy to answer you live if you have doubts or any kind of question. Now, I would take advantage of the presence of Paolo here to ask him another question from the point of view of an administrator of a company, as an entrepreneur. Could you help me to explain to our viewers what should a company take in account when they think of VRARA as their augmented reality device?
Okay, so Alessio, I think that before talking about the technical solution, that in this case is visionary, is augmented reality, we need really to talk about the targets. We really need to fix and focus our target first, and consider that the solution, the technical solution, are only, and let me just use only as a strong word at this moment.
Yeah.
Which are the best, helps to reach at the best our targets. The most important aspect that all of us, and we did so, all of us has to approach is the cultural aspect. We really need to build the right base, the right cultural base to approach all these new technology solutions. And only then, when you have really a good solid base, you can really find the best technical solution that, for example, today could be augmented reality, and this will make you ready to make a quantum leap to your company.
Thank you, Paolo. Let's go, if you allow me, also deeper in details on this topic as well. Now, we identified some of the potential obstacles to implement AR technology in the real world. We saw before, in the question before, we saw some technical aspects, technical from the point of view of an industrial device. And now, Paolo was suggesting to take in consideration the problem from a point of view, like saying from the cultural point of view. And this is another big obstacle. It was in the past, and it's still today somehow a problem. This suggests me to underline some other aspects related to a more general view of this technology, not just the device. When we speak about augmented reality, most of the times we think just of the front end, if you allow me, the final technical solution. But augmented reality is not just the device, but it's a system. So basically we could identify 4 elements generating the system, the AR system. So we have, of course, the hardware, and from Univet, our end user have a strong partner in this sense, because it's the only company in the world making safety glasses who makes also a smart glass. So this is a unique kind of partner. Then you have, of course, the software. In our case, we decided to have an open approach to this point, to this second peculiar point. Why? Because as we are part of the manufacturing industry, we know that this kind of field, this kind of users need to have flexible solutions. So by proposing hardware tangled with a specific software solution, this would have been a limitation, if you want, for our end user. We don't want this, since we are coming from this world. So we decided to develop a hardware open to a a large variety of software solutions divided by use cases. You are looking behind me to some of these use cases, which mainly could be identified in 3 of them. So we have remote assistance, first of all, of course. Everyone know this case now in COVID time. We have a logistics solution, and finally we have all those cases which need dynamic or static instruction, operating instruction. So production, maintenance, and all those cases, all those similar cases. Well, of course, it's possible to develop a specific software solution which works on all 3 of them, but it's not the most efficient solution, of course. For each of these categories, there are top players in the world developing specific reliable solution, and reliability is a strong topic for the industry. So why don't we propose a hardware able to interact and to be integrated with all these different solutions, software solutions? So this is our view on the second point. I would say that this second aspect, the software aspect, is quite well developed in the market. So it's possible to find a lot of different solutions. The third one is the digital content, which is, let's say, the substance of the software that we have seen before. The software, in most of the cases, risks to be empty if there's no actual value, digital value in it, meaning that we are talking about IoT, of course. Imagine dealing with maintenance instructions or production management without live and dynamic data. This wouldn't work at all. So in the AR industry, in the AR system, you have to consider, together with the hardware and software, the digital data. What does it mean? It means that digitalization is something that the investors, so be CEOs or production managers or innovation managers, have to consider how digitalized his company is. This, most of the times, is the real core of the investment, especially for 2 of the 3 use cases that you are looking at. For logistics, for sure, your WMS has to be digitalized enough and automated enough, and for the operating instructions that we are going to see in a second on the video. Because, of course, production information change dynamically, you have to be all the time updated. Now, we discussed 3 elements. There's another one, and in my opinion, this is the weakest point, unfortunately, and it's the infrastructure, especially the network, the communication network. Of course, Visionaire and all the AR solutions can also work without any connection, but this is not the real target of this kind of technology. The target is IoT, so being connected with the company systems and infrastructure. Most of the times, this is the weak link of this chain. If you don't have on-site a strong enough connectivity, then all the system, you can have also the best and most high-tech device on yourself, but it wouldn't work. So that's the 4th point. Whenever you need a use case with connection need, so we have seen, of course, remote assistance, but also logistics, you can imagine, and operating instruction, all the times that you need dynamic instruction and live connection with your production plants or machineries, then the network is the starting point for the company. Well, this is a panoramic view, we could say, from a general point of view of what does it mean to include remote augmented reality, in the real manufacturing world. We hope that we suggested some interesting point of view, but at the end of the day, I would like now to ask another question to Paolo from his perspective. At the end of the day, there's always the same question coming in the mind and in mouth of all the industry-related operators. We are talking of augmented reality since a long time.
Yeah.
Paolo, do you think today we have all the elements to cross those obstacles that we have seen so far? The obstacles that in the past prevented AR technology to become a daily usable device inside the manufacturing companies?
Well, Alessio, I can say that Univet puts together technology, vision, and innovation. Understand its customers' practical, concrete needs, is able to see the affordables of the industrial world. And I think that Univet today can give a very good example to everybody. We put in place in our logistical department the use of our visionaire, our augmented reality glasses. That I can say that this is something that just a few years ago was something unthinkable and cannot be applicable for any kind of logistic application. But today is really is active part of the daily activity of our operator. And I think this is a very good example of what you just asked me. So this is something that is getting into, say, the real world. We make it real.
Sure, thank you. I'm sure also it can be of inspiration for all those companies and professionals who are here with us today. And they are still evaluating if such a leap, such a technology leap might be worth it or maybe not yet. In our case, as Paolo said, we did this leap from one side and also from the other side, from the side of the manufacturers and the side of the end user, we can say. We ended here, so our intervention, I hope it had been complete enough for you to add some more elements to your evaluation. But we are available, we stay here for a while, some 5 little more minutes, to answer your question in case you have any. I would like maybe just to add another element to our discussion. Talking of vision, we developed a device which we like to define more as a platform rather than a simple device. Maybe it could be useful for you to understand how the approach that I explained at the beginning about software, so the flexibility, translates into such a hardware. Well, let me just tell you while we wait for some questions, that VRARGS is built and designed to be connected to additional hardware devices, so namely control units, so that this helps a lot to maintain a large range of flexibility also from the point of view of the features of the device itself. What do I mean by that? I mean that, for example, today for everyone is quite familiar to use 4G connection. This connects to the topic of the network reliability that I said before. Well, tomorrow we all know sooner or later 5G will arrive. All the devices that today work on 4G connection will have some troubles because it's not easy to pass from the point of view of the hardware from 4G to 5G. In our case, this will not bring any big difference because having a passive device as a visionaire allows us to connect to the devices of today, but to any device of tomorrow, mobile or non-mobile. I think that from this point of view, this choice is a winning choice. Being flexible is our choice. I guess that this comes as well from our experience of glasses manufacturing. In the glasses world, everyone wants his own solution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is there any question?
I think the situation here, we lost the video, never mind. Let's try to recover. Okay, here we are.
Are we back online?
We are back online on the video. Okay. Well, we have two guests to invite. Let's see. I saw one, Harry Jenkins. Maybe you managed to connect. I'm afraid they left. Yes, we had a couple of guests wanted to join the conversation, but I guess they lost the connection. Well, we are still here for a couple of minutes. Any question from your side? We will be happy to answer. Absolutely. Okay, guys, just remind the ones who just joined, we just finished our intervention. We are just waiting for your questions, if you have any. Yeah, I'm just checking. Okay. Okay. Here, so
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for your presence here. Thank you for staying with us so far. All the best to you. You can find us in our web link. You will find at the bottom of this video call. Thank you again. All the best.
And thanks from myself to everybody. Thanks a lot.